How is AI and automation going to play a role? How's it going to play a role in Crossbeam over the coming years?
Yeah, this is where I get to be on tape recorded saying something that's going to sound so dumb in 10 years, right? Or maybe in 10 months. Here, right now, where it looks like a lot of this is going is that, and I think ChatGPT Operator is a great example of this, is that the word of the day is agentic, right? So it's amazing to have these kind of text-based interfaces for dispatching a single instance of a GPT to go and do a thing that is specifically requested by you. It's another thing to allow those agents to spin up their own agents, like Mr. Meeseeks style from Morty, right? And complete subtasks within those and then combine it back together again. It's another thing when you start to infuse that into a multimodal situation where voice and images and web pages all can be synthesized as inputs or outputs. And when you look at the partnership world through that lens, like the idea of an agentic partnership organization actually starts to make a lot of sense, right? In the same way that fundamentally, I think a lot of the work that is the busy work in sales, the work that is the busy work in sales development, the work that is the busy work in content generation and in research, I don't know that it's going to kill the human side of those jobs. What it is going to do is make the humans doing those jobs radically better at making high leverage use of their
Agreed.
time. So like where the real skill is, I think most jobs in most industries, you become really good and you use that incredible skill about 5% of your time. And the rest of your time, you're in these routines that maybe a more junior person could do, or maybe are repetitive to you. It's almost like you can switch off your brain and it's like system one, system two, right? And like you just let autopilot take over. And then what makes you really good is, hey, Sully is flying that plane and he's got to land it in the Hudson, right? It's that one time on that one day makes you worth that senior pay grade. So what happens in a world where all of that stuff that's not the senior pay grade can actually potentially be done by kind of background operators, it just makes for a lot more, you get to pack a much bigger punch basically in the execution.
And I've been referring to a lot as a force multiplier. Ultimately, in the end, to your point, I like how you use the analogy or you talk about the 5%. And I think oftentimes people are able to turn that 5% into 95% of their time. Yeah. It's just going to be much more impactful for an organization. And also, let's be honest, there's not enough people out there, especially as populations continue to age. We're going to need AI to help fill in those gaps of the work that needs to be able to get done. And people are going to continue to expect a more personalized experience, more one-to-one connection that AI is going to be able to facilitate, which is both, if you think about it, interesting that AI is going to facilitate a one-to-one interaction is better, but it is going to speed everything up.
Yep. It is the thing I think that people forget about innovation, which is that increases in worker productivity very often correlate with increases in demand for higher density, higher value experiences and products, right? So it's like the invention of the car. It's like, all right, well, we don't need all these people breeding horses anymore. However, somebody's got to make mufflers now. Okay. There are these things where, oh, and by the way, it used to be 1 out of every 100 people could practically have and maintain and keep a horse for transportation. But now every driveway in America within 50 or 60 years is going to have 1, if not 2 cars in it. So the adoption of this technology in such a widespread manner, I think will have a pretty large disruptive effect on the demand curve side of this as well. And it's just great for like the modern economy, right? The productivity per human can go way up. I think the life expectancy and like experience of the average human can very likely improve as a result of this. And yeah, the most terrifying things are also the most exciting to me, right? Like these robots that are very heavily powered and driven by AI. When you start to think about like elder care, right? Like when I need 24-hour support later on in my life.
Robot Betty, I'm pretty sure from the Jetsons, they already showed us the
exactly.
future.
Yeah, I think we're right there. But like this stuff is coming faster than any of us expect, and I think certainly in our lifetimes, I expect to have my life saved at least once before I'm off this planet. Something that would not have happened if not for AI.